Hi students, very good morning. Right, today in this session we are going to deal regarding the feasibility or spontaneity of a cell. What is meant by feasibility? Feasibility means whether a process will occur by it naturally or not, whether the reaction is possible or not. Suppose in first year you have learnt spontaneous reactions as well as non-spontaneous with respect to thermodynamics. Okay, spontaneous means the process which occur by itself without or with some amount of proper initiation. Again I am repeating, the process which occur by itself on its own or by with some small initiation. That process is called as spontaneity. Okay, in this construction of a cell is possible or not, or the energy produced is spontaneous or not, we can know that. So the heading is something like feasibility of a cell or feasibility of a reaction, or spontaneity of a cell or spontaneity of a reaction. And with respect to Gibbs energy, we are going to learn the respectability of or the possibility of spontaneity. Right, already we know that delta G is nothing but Gibbs free energy. Whenever the Gibbs free energy is negative value, we will be getting the useful work done by this system. Means then we will be talking as delta G is less than 0. Then that reaction is possible. So delta G is nothing but it represents the work and it should be negative. So we can say it as negative work, electrical work done by cell. Okay, negative electrical work done by the cell, it is called as delta G. So then that particular type of cell will be spontaneous. Okay, suppose you assume that there is one anode rod, from there to cathode rod there will be transfer of n moles of electrons. 1 mole of electron means 6 into 10 power 23 electrons. 2 moles means 2 into 6 into 10 power 23 electrons. I am telling n moles of electrons. So into n into 6 into 10 power 23. So the number of electrons transferred from one electrode to the other electrode, it is called as charge. And charge is nothing but it is the number of moles of electrons. Okay, and each electron carries some amount of charge with it, right? So Q is represented with number of moles of electrons and the charge of each electron. So Q is equal to Ng. So we can write that if n is equal to 1 mole means if n is equal to 1, charge of each n is equal to 1 means in 1 mole of electrons, how many electrons are there means 6 into 10 power 23, and electron charge is 1.6 into 10 power 19 coulomb. See, n is here 6 into 10 power 23 into 1, because 1 mole, right? 1 into 6 into 10 power 23. Suppose if I say 2 moles, it is 2 into 6 into 10 power 23. This is 2 moles. Suppose if I say n moles, that is n you will be getting by combining these two, n into 6 into 10 power 23, n particles into, see, if you calculate for 1 mole, 1 into 6 into 10 power 23 into charge of each electron is 1.6 into 10 power 19 minus 19 coulombs. So approximately we will be getting the value as 96,500 coulombs. It is equal to 1 Faraday. Getting clear this? Right, suppose if you take Q is equal to 2 moles, means that is 2 into 6 into 10 power 23 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So Q is equal to 2 Faraday. Suppose if you are having n moles of electrons, the charge will be equal to Nf. Okay, remember this, n moles of electrons and charge of 1 mole of electrons is Faraday. That is 96,500 coulombs. For Faraday is nothing but 96,500 coulombs. Right. So what we are doing next is, here electrical work in terms of physics, we know that change in potential will be equal to work by Q. In terms of physics, electrical charges, we will be learning this one. Change in potential will be equal to W by Q, and W is equal to Q into delta V. Okay, that is Q into change in potential, and we have calculated the value of Q. What is the value of Q? This is Nf. Okay, so electrical work, whatever we have done, it is equal to Nfe. Then for delta G, it is minus work, right? So instead of in place of work, you can write it as Nfe of the cell. Okay, or if you want in terms of standard potential, it is equal to minus Nfe naught. So delta G naught will be equal to minus Nfe naught of the cell. This is at standard condition. This is the standard Gibbs energy. This is the standard electrode potential. If delta G is equal to minus Nfe, this is electrode of cell, not at the standard condition. This is the Gibbs free energy. This is the not standard energy. Okay, standard Gibbs energy. So if standard one, it is delta G naught is equal to minus Nfe naught cell. If it is normal one, delta G is equal to minus Nfe cell. Okay. Let us solve some questions with respect to this particular type of content. So find delta Z naught, means he is asking the standard conditions of the Z naught and predict the feasibility of the cell. And he is asking whether the cell will be feasible or not, means possible or not. So the construction of the cell is Zn getting converted to Zn plus 2, 1 molar concentration, and with a slash salt bridge, copper plus 2, 1 molar concentration to copper, right? So E naught of the cell, that is Zn plus 2 to Zn minus 0.76 volt, E naught copper plus 2 to copper, that is plus 0.34 volts, and 1 Faraday he has mentioned it as 96,500 coulombs. So see what you should calculate E naught. E naught means RHS minus LHS. So RHS is this one, okay, minus LHS is this one, and both should be the reduction values only. See R value means copper. See copper plus 2 to copper, is it reduction? Yes, reduction. Here Zn plus 2 to Zn, so this is also reduction. So both are reduction values only. So right side, what is the right side? Copper, right? So it is 0.34 minus in bracket LHS. LHS is minus 0.76. So what you will be getting? E naught will be equal to 0.34 plus 0.76. So totally the value of E naught will be equal to 1.10 volt. So and you place this 1.10 value in place of delta Z naught is equal to minus NF E naught minus N. How many electrons are getting involved? Here to here 2 electrons, here to here 2 electrons. So on whole 2 electrons are involved, not 4 electrons. Okay, 2 electrons will be cancelled, right? So electrons involved are 2, F is equal to 96,500 and E naught is equal to 1.10. So if you get the E naught value positive, automatically delta Z naught will be equal to minus value. So then if you are getting delta Z is equal to minus value, then the reaction is feasible. Okay. So whatever the conditions that he has mentioned above, it is possible for the construction of the cell. So the construction of the cell is possible. Okay, let us say one more question. Predict the feasibility under standard condition. Nickel in the solid state with 2H plus aqueous state getting converted to Ni plus 2 aqueous state plus H2 gaseous state. So E naught Ni plus 2 to nickel, it is mentioned as minus 0.25 volts. E naught of H plus slash half of H2 means H plus to H2. H what it is happening? Reduction. Here plus 2 to 0 reduction only. Okay, 0 volt. He has mentioned 0 volt. We will learn regarding this one again. That is called as standard hydrogen electrode. So before going to that, first we shall do this problem. E naught is equal to ERHS minus LHS. RH what he has taken. So this one you should write in terms of equation. See which has undergone oxidation. So while writing the equation you will be getting like this. Ni plus 2 slash H plus cutting to H2. This is the condition what you will be getting. So RHS is this one 0 minus LHS is this one minus of minus 0. So you will be getting E naught. So it is positive value. So how many electrons are being involved? 2 electrons. So you will be getting delta Z naught is equal to minus 2 into F into E naught. So the reaction is feasible. Now the question, can we stir a copper sulfate aqueous solution with a zinc rod? So he is asking, you take a zinc rod and you take copper sulfate aqueous solution in a container. Now you start stirring it. Is it possible or not under standard condition? He is asking. So he has mentioned E naught of Zn plus 2 bar Zn minus 0.76, E naught of copper plus 2 to copper 0.34 volts. See students, pause the video and try to solve this question. Okay, I hope that you have done the answer. 1, 2, 3. Right, so I am going to explain. See, Zn getting converted to Zn plus 2, copper plus 2 converting to copper. Okay, copper plus 2 to copper conversion is called as reduction. It is taken as cathode. Zn to Zn plus 2 is taken as anode. See what happens. You are taking a container. In that you are taking a copper sulfate solution and zinc rod. You are taking. What happens if you go stirring the solution with the zinc rod? Zinc acts as anode. Copper sulfate acts as cathode. What happens? This entire rod gets dissolved in this. So the copper sulfate, pure copper sulfate will not be present, because as the zinc is getting dissolved in the copper sulfate solution, it will be it will be impure, not pure one will be present. And if you see here, if you want in the indirect way of solving, E naught is equal to E naught C, cathode minus anode. So you'll be getting this minus plus 0.34 minus of 0.76, and the E naught value whatever you are obtaining, it will be equal to 1.10 volts. So if you are getting E naught is equal to this value, delta Z will be equal to less than 0. So what happens? Then that reaction is possible. That is a feasible cell. So that is the condition for the construction of a cell. So what happens? We should not stir, because there is a reaction between the zinc rod and copper sulfate solution, whatever you are taking, and that particular reaction is very spontaneous. What happens? This rod, it tries to get dissolved in the solution of the copper sulfate. Okay. So the next question is, can we keep zinc sulfate solution in copper vessel? Yes, this is the reverse condition, because copper will not act as anode. It will not get stirred up. It will not be getting dissolved in the zinc sulfate solution. So you can use in the reverse condition. So in copper vessel you can store zinc sulfate, but zinc rod you should not use in the copper sulfate solution, because it acts as an anode. Right, students? This is what you have for today, students. A short video for today, and tomorrow we will be continuing with the Nernst equation and the types of the problems where you can get more for the mains exam. So why I am taking a short video means, if you continue taking of Nernst equation, it will take minimum 20 to 25 minutes. If I combine this video with the 10 minutes, it becomes more than half an hour. It will be bored up, right? So I am stopping with this here. In the next class, means tomorrow, we will be going with respect to Nernst equation and the problems that has come in the previous year, and the main content and the hardcore of this chapter. Okay. Thank you, students. Have a nice day. Bye bye.